listening to 40 Weeks, a production of the Pregnancy Podcast with Vanessa Merton. Visit pregnancypodcast.com/week for all of the 40 Weeks resources and sign up with your due date to get each episode delivered to your inbox when you start a new week of your pregnancy. Thank you for tuning in to the 40 Weeks podcast. Welcome to week 14. You have 26 weeks to go. You can see a picture of what your baby looks like this week, read the transcript, and access all of the additional resources at pregnancypodcast.com/week14. This week, your little lemon is now about the size of a peach. From this week forward, your baby's length is measured from crown to heel instead of crown to rump. So your baby measures almost 5.8 inches or 14.7 centimeters, and they weigh 3.3 ounces or 93 grams. Your baby's movements are more coordinated than their earlier jerky movements. Their neck is getting longer, hair may be starting to grow, and eyebrows are coming in. A thin, down-like hair called lanugo covers your baby's entire body. That's going to help keep them warm until they build up more fat. Other developments this week are that your baby now has facial expressions like squinting or grimacing, and this is thanks to the brain impulses that allow their facial muscles to move. Their kidneys are producing urine, which they release into the amniotic fluid around them. The top of your uterus is a little bit above your pubic bone, which is probably enough to push your tummy out. Starting to show is nice because you get to see that yes, in fact, you are growing a tiny human. If you've managed to avoid maternity clothes up until this point, it's probably time to put some clothes in the back of your closet and add some comfortable maternity clothes. It is not worth it to be uncomfortable in clothes that do not fit well. Keep in mind that maternity clothes don't have to cost a fortune. You can ask friends who have had babies if they have any maternity clothes sitting in their closet. You can also check out some big box stores or compare prices online. Realistically, you only need to wear this stuff for a short period. So don't stress out about not wanting to make a significant financial commitment to a new wardrobe. Now is an excellent time to think about changing your care provider if you're not feeling supported or if you're feeling like it might not be the right fit. If you want to move to another doctor or another midwife, the earlier you do that, the better. There is an episode of the Pregnancy Podcast on choosing or changing your doctor or midwife, and you can listen to that at pregnancypodcast.com/doctor. Next week opens the window for additional prenatal tests. And you might feel like you are continually waiting for the result of some test to assure you that your baby's healthy. Most tests are routine, and you have a high probability of results coming back normal. Remember, a screening test gives you the likelihood of a condition and may signal that additional testing is needed. You don't know anything for sure until you have a diagnostic test. Plus, all tests vary in their accuracy. Please talk about your testing options, your results, or any questions you have with your doctor or midwife. The quad screen is a maternal blood screening test that looks at proteins or hormones that can indicate your baby's risk of trisomy 21, trisomy 18, spina bifida, and abdominal wall defects. The optimal time frame for this test is between 16 and 18 weeks, but technically the window's between 15 and 22 weeks. The quad screen is slightly less accurate than the first trimester screen, but an integrated screening test can combine results from a quad screen in the second trimester with the first trimester screen. Combining those results has a higher detection rate for Down syndrome than either of the two tests alone. An amniocentesis is a diagnostic test for chromosome abnormalities, neural tube defects, and genetic disorders. Your care provider will only offer this test if a screening test indicates that your baby's at a high risk for one of these conditions. The test is available between 15 to 20 weeks. An ultrasound-guided needle is inserted through your belly to the amniotic sac, and it collects a sample of amniotic fluid. Like the first trimester CVS, an amniocentesis has a high level of accuracy. It's greater than 99%. And this is an invasive diagnostic test, so it does have potential risks. One systematic review and meta-analysis found that the miscarriage rate with this test was 0.11%. A tip for dads and partners: take your significant other shopping for a new top or a pair of jeans. If shopping isn't your thing, suggest that they go with a friend and buy something that's comfortable and will fit their growing bump. They don't have to go out and buy a new wardrobe, but it can be incredibly frustrating when suddenly none of your clothes fit. So don't give your significant other a hard time about new clothing purchases, and make sure that you tell them that you like the new outfits. Thank you for tuning in to the 40 Weeks podcast. You can see the full transcript and all of the resources for this week at pregnancypodcast.com/week14. Next week, your baby will be able to sense light. And until then, I wish you the very best in your pregnancy journey.